John Morant wasn't just hitting all his shots like that, but he was the engine. When I watched the Pacers yesterday, McConnell was the engine. And I'm just keeping it above.
You
McConnell
said,
was the engine.
are you still sticking with that? McConnell is better than Halliburton or playing
He
better
keep
going back to
being
the
better
playoff?
than him. He keep doing it. Nimhard was on a minutes restriction. When Nimhard and McConnell was in and Halliburton was sitting, they was up. When Halliburton came in, they started losing. Him and Matherin don't play no defense. Siakam and Miles Turner don't get no rebounds. Their starters are more flawed than their role players. The Indiana Pacers role players have more well-rounded games than their stars. It's just, like we've seen it too much now. McConnell kind of does a little bit of everything. Like Nimhard does a little bit of everything. Even Obi Toppin came in was doing a little bit of everything. Go look at the box score from you. It keeps happening. And they pass the eye test. It's the stars. If Siakam ain't hitting no shots, he looks okay, but he don't really rebound like that for no power forward. He don't really rack up the blocks like that. Same thing with Turner. He rack up blocks, but he don't get rebounds. Like Matthew ain't shutting nobody down when his jumper ain't falling. He don't rack up assists. He don't get rebounds. Halliburton don't get rebounds. He don't shut nobody down when he's jumping off. You see what I'm saying? What do they do? What do they do when they jumping not falling? And that's something we usually say about role players instead of the stars.
You don't. So okay. So is it that? Okay, what's the more of the problem that Siakam has taken more of a step back? Do you think that's the problem? Is it Miles Turner isn't dominant or better than what he should be, or is it Halliburton is not a star that can drive a team to win?
Because it's more like this. If the stars were better, this would be a championship team. If LeBron and AD had these role players, even this version of LeBron and AD, if they had McConnell, if they had goddamn Toppin, if they had Nimhard, if they had what's the other dude, Neesmith, the Lakers would win a championship. This shit is Halliburton ain't good enough. Matherin ain't good enough. Siakam ain't good enough. Miles Turner ain't good enough. It's the starters. And it's like we knew because I guess last year we don't like Siakam, borderline 13 All NBA type of level player, borderline top 20. Halliburton looked like he was gonna make that. Halliburton it's really Halliburton is not as good as we thought. And then Siakam he disappears. So it's them. The Pacers would be lucky if they make the playoffs, man.
Man, so that's what I meant to say. Like, yeah, Pacers haven't won even won an NBA Cup game, and they were just there last year. So it's kind of a shame that they're not being as far as competitive as you would think they would be.
How do you feel about them guys? Like, just think of the starters, Chris. Like, how far do you think they can get? We knew it was a fluke.
That's the thing.
It's like,
yeah, last year's playoff run. I don't know if people should really judge them like that or judge them on that kind of if you're grading the Pacers on an Eastern Conference Finals team, one, that's on you for thinking that they are a legit Eastern Conference Finals team when they're clearly not. Two, if you're grading them on that level, they clearly aren't remotely close to that again this year. Now you can say the same thing about Minnesota a little bit. They've taken a little bit of a step back, but they have not taken this step back that the Pacers have taken back. And the stars, I guess, like you're saying, plays a big part of that. Now, if you look at the home versus away numbers, Halliburton has been playing a lot better when he's at home. So maybe that injury that with his back and him need to lay down flying on the flights or whatever, and all that sleeping in his own bed make him feel better, but could also be front running like you used to accuse him of.
He just not it. He ain't carrying no team. And he just ain't carrying no team. And if you ain't shooting your 3 ball, it's just you don't bring enough to the game. Yes, you can pass. Yes, you like that's it. You shooting pass. He can shoot and pass. Chris, what else is he good at?
Getting to the rim. You don't have him very high getting to the rim.
This nigga don't get to no rim.
I'm just checking on you.
Nah, bro. Chris, these dudes. Look, I'm looking at their record right now. They in the 8th spot currently, but they got a tied record with Brooklyn, Detroit. They won game over Chicago. Should that be? I didn't think they would be this bad. We knew they would go regress. We know they're not that good.
All right, but I mean, yes, but they're also pretty close to getting, a couple more wins. They might be a 5th seed. So,
but this is my thing. You have your guys. Most of these teams ain't got nobody. How is Atlanta ahead of you? Literally, Milwaukee came back and passed you. They was on a goddamn 10-game look. I don't even remember that losing streak, but Milwaukee was trash for a long time. Indiana, my thing is Indiana, you supposed to be a top 6 seed. There's no excuse to not be a top 6 seed. That's what I'm judging them off of. I get it. They probably gonna go out in the first round or something like that. But the fact that you can't stay afloat as a top 6 seed with your star players, one role player goes out and y'all done. Like you can't survive 1 or 2 role players being out. That's not usually how it go in the NBA. That's usually you can't survive 1 or 2 stars.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you think that Eastern Conference Finals run elevated their role players their star players to a level that they shouldn't have been on? Or do you think they should have been on that level and they're just not living up to it?
I honestly think they have a chance as long as their role players are healthy. Their role players haven't been healthy. The role players are the best players on the team.
Ain't no way.
I promise you. I honestly still think once because Nembhard just got back here on the minutes restriction. McConnell just got back. Nesmith is coming back soon. Once they get back, watch how they jump up. And people gonna be, even if Halliburton do get back on track, the best part of the Indiana Pacers are their role players. TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Obi Toppin. Remember they was a top 3 bench scoring team last year? And you seen what they did in the playoffs. It was multiple games in the playoffs where Nembhard and McConnell was out playing Tyrese Halliburton. And it's okay. Because even in the game yesterday, Jarris Walker came in. He getting rebounds. He getting blocks. He getting deflections. Their role players are better than their stars and starters. And it just is what it is. I think the Pacers have fallen off because their role players haven't been healthy. We don't hardly say stuff like that, but it's true. When they role players get back fully healthy, watch the Pacers rise back up into the standings. That's basically what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. So you're also just saying your star players aren't playing good enough either, which can't be the truth.
I'm saying yes, but also it's something I've never seen where the role players are more valuable than the starters and stars, and it's a fact. If somebody say I'm wrong, they ain't paying attention.
Y'all, please let him know in the comments if he's crazy for saying this. I think he has a good point, but I do think when it comes to value, as far as I think so you're saying your main priority for the Pacers, get your role players healthy.
Yes.
No way. No, it's not. Make sure Halliburton figure something out or get him more comfortable or
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I would never quit.